So you want to know how to do the paper rip effect that you see on screen. Well, it's not the simplest effect, but after this video, you'll know how to do it quickly and efficiently. This is an effect that I did with the wonderful Sarah Panameño. We have a music video titled Mi Globo Azul, and I've been getting tons of compliments and saying, oh, how did you do this? And how did you do the mixed media effect? So I wanted to explain this in a video. And if you want to see how to do the mixed media effect, make sure to come on back to the channel because we're going to be covering that in a later video. But first of all, you might be wondering, how are we doing this paper rip effect? Well, it can be broken down into 3 simple steps. The first step is to get a screenshot from Premiere Pro and import it into Photoshop. Then once we're in Photoshop, we're gonna animate it and put the paper rip around it, making it look nice and crisp. Then the third step is to import it back into Premiere Pro, and then that's about it. It sounds simple, but there are a lot of sub points. So I made sure to add timestamps below here so you can know just how to do it and skip to the parts that you want to learn. If you're new to the channel, I want to welcome you. My name is Mark Jonathan Romero, the creative guru. With this channel, I want to ease the creative process with videos and products that can help you along the way. Without further ado, we're just going to get right into this juicy meat of the video and show you guys how to do this effect. God bless you. Hello everybody, so this is part 1 of the tutorial. So this is going to be how we're going to get the screenshot and we're going to move into Photoshop so that we can edit it there. So it's a simple animation in. If you look at what we're looking at here, that's a lot of stills that just come in and basically come together. The backgrounds of this are actually hand drawn, so I'll show you guys that here. As we can see, these were hand drawn assets by Sarah Panameño. So these are the backgrounds and then she's coming in, so we're gonna go over to how to do that effect, but we're gonna go over to this side here where we have a completely blank canvas. So if we look on the left here, I have the assets ready. So once you have these PNGs, you could put these in yourself, you could draw them yourself, it's all up to you. But basically what I did is I held shift and then I hit the arrow. So that's gonna automatically give you 5 frames. So I did that for each one of these frames and then I just put them down so that there was a nice background. So we go here to the end, we just held shift arrow like last time, then take that out, option down to move it down, and then I just hold option and drag the first one to automatically duplicate it. And also just do that for one more as long as this whole dark area is there. And then we go to the end of that. This video starts a little bit earlier, so right there, that's the frame that we're gonna want. Once we find the frame that we want to transition into, just stop on it like you're here, and then we're gonna click this export frame camera that's right in the timeline. If it's not there, go to the button editor and you can just click this and it's gonna be there. So once we have our frame, we just hit it, and then we're gonna call this Sarah tutorial, and then just save it somewhere where works best for you on your computer. For me, it's just going into my screenshots, and then boom. Once you have that, so now we just go into the Photoshop, and then we go into where we have our screenshots. So then when you find it, just come here and drag and drop it in. Either you do that or you come and you go into open. I already have a Photoshop that's set up for the 4K ratio, so I'm just gonna use this. But if you don't already, you could just open the screenshot and it's gonna be the exact size of your video. Wow, you must be feeling amazing because you're done with 33% of this effect. We're gonna move into part 2 right now, which is making the variants of these frames so that we can actually animate it in. So once we have our still here, we're just gonna do something very simple. We're gonna hit the select subject that Photoshop just gives us, and then we're gonna look into our subject and just make sure that we're good with the selection. Since this is a very clear image of our subject, it looks good to me. So then I'm just gonna hit Command and J, and that's gonna duplicate it. Very quickly, I'm just gonna rename this layer and do a little bit of organizing, because the more organized that your layout is, in my opinion, it just helps the process. So we're gonna take that, and now we have Sarah on the clean black background, or the clean white background, and we're gonna be able to use this to make our frames. So we're getting closer to having the look just how we want it, but the next part that we want to do is add a ring of a paper texture around her so that it looks like she was ripped out of paper. The way I personally did this was using my own paper textures that I actually took the time to rip out and scan in. So that's actually available as an asset in the description. It is not free. It's gonna be there for you if you want to save time. So for me, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna go open, and then I just already have it open, but this is the paper assets pack. We're gonna come here to one that I like. I go for these ones with the torn edges so that we can use the puppet warp tool and add it around our subject. So go here, click open. It's already gonna be on that 4K background, so I just copy and paste it in. And then let me take Sarah out of here. Sorry, Sarah. We're just gonna use the magic wand tool to select one of these edges. I have mine set to 50 and the contiguous on. If the contiguous isn't set on, you're gonna see it start selecting all the white, and then it's like, well, how do I get that edge? Just turn the contiguous on, select one of the edges, and then click J, and then take off that, and you're just gonna be left with a clean edge here that you can warp around the subject. And I already have some of these ready for me in the paper pieces. So once you have these assets separated, it's as simple as this. We're gonna come here, we're gonna put it over the still, and then we're gonna show Sarah. We're gonna take that off, and then we're gonna go here to grab it, and then we're gonna go to the edit, and then we're gonna go to the puppet warp. Now this is gonna allow us to do different pins on here and pretty much bend it to our will. So I'm just gonna grab one of these pins and then just put it around her so that it's looking like she was ripped out of this paper. You know, these frames aren't gonna be on the screen for too long, so they don't have to be, you know, flawless. For me, that looks really good right there. You know, you could see what it's gonna look like with some sort of background, or even with the background that, you know, these backgrounds that she drew. So we're just gonna go around her and warp an entire outline of her pretty much. There we have it. We have a sharp looking paper crumple look around her. So to me, that's looking really good. So what I'm gonna do next is I select all of these and I hit group, and then I call this Sarah Still 4. So we're gonna make 4 different frames, and then we're just, since this one is the most full one, this is the one that we're gonna show last. I just go ahead, I duplicate this with Command J, and then I hit Command E to group it all into one. So now this is just one clean frame, and then from here, what I do is I choose a part here. I'm saying, you know what, as beautiful as you are, Sarah, we're gonna cut you off at the chin here, and then, man, that's gotta sound terrible, but but we just slice the chin area. You can see here I had the background still on, so that's what it looks like. But once we take off that background, we see that basically it leaves us with everything that we had before minus that part that we just sliced off. So then that allows us to take one of our paper assets, we just duplicate it like that, and then we just drag it on up, we put it on top of her, and then rotate it a little bit. This part, once you have the first outline done, it actually gets really easy because you could just place it on like that. We're just gonna keep doing that. We go here, slice off these edges, make sure that it just meets up with the other lines, and then boom, just like that, something really quick like that is gonna give us our second still. So we go here, we go group it, we're gonna call this Sarah Still 3, and then we're just gonna duplicate that, do that, use the polygonal lasso tool. Oh wow. And we're just gonna cut a little bit more, and that's gonna give us the base for our third frame. Make it go smaller and smaller until we get that look that we want. And then, yeah, if you have some good textures here, you just go, you get it. And I'm sure you could do this with just any textures that you find online, just because, you know, everything is so advanced nowadays. So this is gonna be Sarah Still number 2, and then we're just gonna keep that going. And then as you can see here, we have the frames are starting to come together. So we go here, and it's like, oh, she's getting bigger. Oh, she's there. Now we're gonna get this last frame going right now. Find one that suits us. Ooh, Oh, baby. That one looks good. Can I get a yeehaw in the comments, please? Yeehaw in the comments, perhaps. For the somebody who's feeling a little bit Western, you can go ahead and comment that. So we have this, and then that's our last still right there. So we go Sarah, still 1, and then just like that we got 1, 2. Well, we got 1, 2, 3, and then we got 4. Boom. Excelente. What you do there is you just take off the background, and then we're gonna export it as a PNG. You know, I don't know where we're gonna land here in my storage. Don't peek, don't peek. But you know, for here we have, so we're just gonna call this Sarah still 4 because that's the 4th one, and then we're gonna go one by one and just export them all. Hide it, show the next one, file, export, quick export as PNG, and then the life hack is to just click the last one and then change the last number so you don't type the whole thing out again. That's it. Here we go. We got all of our stills here. We got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now is the last part, final part 3, and we're gonna put all of these together and animate them in Premiere Pro. You're saying, what? No way. How I learned how to do this effect in 10 minutes or less? Who knows? Who knows how long this video is? Basically, we're just gonna animate this going up to the last part here where the actual frame comes in. It's gonna just look seamless because it's the same look. Put it in right as they're switching, just so it's a little bit more, you know, there. We're just gonna do the same rule, 5 frames. We're gonna see how this ends up, and then we can tweak it afterward. We're gonna put that 2nd frame there, shift, arrow, boom, just like that. That option down. You guys are getting all my juicy tricks, because if you know the commands, then you can just play this computer like a keyboard. Hey, that looks pretty good. And we're just gonna extend it a little bit. Yeah, look at that. Oh, amazing, amazing, guys. You see that? Well, because it hits on the clap, and then something that you also want to probably do is add a paper sound effect, because there's a big difference if there's no sound effect. I'm going to show you guys the difference right now.
En el año 2025, Sara Panameño y Mark Romero.
That's with the sound effect, and then this is without.
En el año 2025, Sara Panameño y Mark Romero.
So as you can see, these sound effects actually do make a big difference in bringing the effect to life. Still a sweet looking effect, but it adds a new pop of life with that sound effect. So if you want to get the Creator Sound Effects library, it has paper effects, whooshes, all the stuff that you need for creating stuff like this and all types of content creation. It's also going to be linked down in the description below. But gentlemen and gentlewomen, that is going to be how we get this effect. Oh boy, what a tutorial, am I right? Have a blessed day, you guys. We'll see you guys. May the Lord bless and protect you. Peace.